name's Scott Knightlick. I am a marketing manager for Mattel. I work on MattyCollector.com as well as kind of a plethora of other lines and assorted toy product for both kids and adults. But as a collector myself, I am so thrilled to work on a lot of our collector product and be here with all of you. Everyone's got cameras, right? We're going right to YouTube, right? So that way everything I say can be disseminated and questions answered. So. And live, oh my gosh, we're like streaming live from Toy Fair. So I'll give you a bit of a run through on what you've seen around the room. You'll have plenty of time to do stills, and we can do individual interviews and walkthroughs. We have about 2.5 hours here, so plenty of time. And I'll give a little up front, and then we're gonna open this up to Q&A. You guys, you got me, you got some designers in the back, the 4 horsemen are somewhere lost in the sea. And let's just get all the information out there. So let me start, we'll go around the room. So starting in this corner here, we have this little line people have probably heard of, Masters of the Universe Classics.
Yeah!
So we are what, in our 7th year? My God, we're 150 figures into this thing. We are so close to completing the vintage line. That's kind of the plan for the next year and a half. So we're gonna start promoting buying that 2015 sub now, because that's really the focus. Getting that 2015 sub is what's gonna finish the line. And of course, to help us get there, we are introducing a brand new add-on sub for 2014. That's the year we're in now. Sometimes I'm already working on 2016. It's hard to remember. So that's going to be Princess of Power themed. Last year it was Filmation themed. A lot of the reason for that, well, A, it is She-Ra Princess of Power's 30th anniversary this year, so that makes a lot of sense. So, who was watching She-Ra back in 1984? So that line is going to consist of 6 monthly figures. 5 of them are going to be at $25 or 26 day of. 1 of them is going to be $30 or I believe 33 day of. It's a little bit more of an expensive figure. It's going to be the last one, the December one. You'll find out who that is at San Diego. So that's a little bit different from the pricing of last year where they were all the same price. One will be a little bit more to account for a little bit more of an expensive figure. There's also, for the first time, going to be an add-on figure a sub-only figure for the add-on sub, and that's Light Hope that you saw there. So that's sort of that's the equivalent of the unnamed one, or King He-Man, or Shadow Weaver. So the 7th figure for the first time as part of that add-on sub, only for getting the add-on sub. The other figures will be available day of. Some actually may not be, much like I remember Seahawk wasn't. There may be some things like that, but Light Hope definitely will only be available for Princess of Power Club Etheria subholders. The sub will go on sale tomorrow on Monday. Make sure when you're buying the Princess of Power Club Etheria sub, it is a separate purchase from anything else you're buying. You can't also buy the MOTUC minis that are on sale tomorrow or MOTUC. That has to be a separate purchase when you buy the sub. And it'll be on sale for the next 3 weeks. There's not going to be a meter. I know a lot of people are going to ask. Essentially, we're pretty much expecting that we're going to hit the minimum. Should the nefarious forces of the Horde come and it doesn't hit the minimum, we'll basically scoot those figures into the 2015 line, is essentially what will happen. But we are pretty much expecting it to sell through just great based on the numbers we had for the main sub and the interest in She-Ra and the 30th. So you don't look for a meter or anything like that. We're going to assume it has. If for some reason it doesn't, we'll let you know. And those figures that were planned for it will just get pushed into 2015, and there'll be a lot of Princess of Power in 2015. There will still be Princess of Power figures in the main sub for both years. I know that's going to come up too. So this was really our way also of helping you complete that Princess of Power line, because there are quite a few left to do. Other than that, some of our other reveals from MOTUC, we had Rio Blast, who's going to be our September figure. So no more rioting, Rio is coming. He will have his chest will open, his chaps on his knees will open. He will have the guns that plug into the arms. I think one of them is missing right now. He'll have the backpack that does pull out over his shoulders. One of the gun barrels did break off during transit, but you can see a picture on Matty Collector of the figure fully assembled correctly. There's also a couple little mystery accessories out there for both the main sub and the Princess of Power Club Etheria, so I think people can, it's pretty obvious who they belong to. We'll let you guys chat about that. We also have our 2014 Chase figure, which is the Filmation cowl and lookie pack. That's actually going to be $20, not $25, because they're much smaller figures. A lot of that was because lookie works so well as a Chase figure, because you're always looking for him. And also, I mentioned this on Roast Google dinner I did a few weeks ago, we're really maximizing every slot for 2014 and 15, which means even that Chase slot, well, last year we did that all-clear Hordak figure, we needed to use the slot essentially to get out a more needed figure. So that's why Lookie and Cowl took that one. And we're really excited because it's finally a way to get out the Filmation version of Cowl and Lookie that people have been waiting for. They're both articulated at the leg, or the arms and neck. And again, $20, not $25, because they're a little smaller, but they are on the traditional blister, and there's a double bio on the back, one for each. I'll flip that around in a bit. It will go on sale randomly throughout the year, much like Hordak. Gotta be on the lookout for Lookie. So there you go. Let's see, I'm thinking anything else. MOTUC as we move along. You saw that big 12-inch Skeletor that's not painted. That's really just something we're tinkering with. We know there's a trend right now for larger size vintage figures on giant vintage cards. That's kind of what we're thinking. Let us know what you think. This is just sort of to test it out. There's no commitment to that product at this time. We really want to hear your feedback. What kind of price point would you think that would be at? What kind of characters would you like to see in that scale? And let us know. We're excited to explore other ways of getting more MOTUC out. Right, I think moving on. Oh, and the minis. Of course, the minis are out there too. We've got 2 more packs: the Scare Glow pack and the Man at Arms Faker. So those again will be shipping every other month throughout 2014. You buy all 6, and you'll get the pieces of the mini Castle Grayskull, which will build up into a mini Castle Grayskull playset, which we had, I think, up in San Diego and New York. So you've seen the complete castle. It looks really cool. The drawbridge opens. You can pose guys on the towers. Most of the figures come with 1 to 2 accessories based on how big they are. I think Scareglow and Stratos only have 1 because they're a little larger with the capes and the backpack. Man-at-Arms and the Faker each come with 2. Moving on from that, we walk into our DC world. So we have all 4 of our quarterly, what would have been, I guess, Club Infinitors or Signature Series figures, which is going to be Aquaman, that goes on sale next month. Then followed by Ice, Superboy, and the final figure, Damian Wayne, who actually I think everyone saw first last year at Toy Fair. So he's finally got a home. He'll be in December of 14. He does come with a Batarang, but not the Batarang that's in his hand. His Batarang didn't make the show, so we just sort of stuck another, I think, a Batarang from the Total Heroes line in his hand. That's not the one he comes with. He comes with, I think, the traditional Robin one. I think there's an image on Matty Collector of the correct one, just in case there's questions about why he's holding the Total Heroes Batarang. After that, very excited, we've hinted about a sort of going away item. Well, it's actually 6 items. So that Superpowers cards and figures you see out there, 2014 isn't just the 30th anniversary of Princess of Power, it's also the 30th anniversary of Superpowers, the toy line we all had when we were kids. We were all kids once, right? We're not just buying toys now. It is not a rebranding, it is not a relaunch. So let's definitely get that out. This is not to expect, oh, if they sell really well, does that mean you could start doing these again? No. This is a goodbye gift. We know the line means so much to all of us, myself included, and we didn't want, just because the sub didn't sell through, we didn't want to just end it. It just didn't feel right. We wanted to do something to celebrate almost a decade of 6-inch, 4 Horsemen style DCU figures. And this was a really great way of doing that. So it's going to be a 6-figure series, all of them released on vintage Superpowers cards. You're going to get Superman in his light blue. You're going to get Wonder Woman in her Superpowers deco. You'll get Batman in his Superpowers deco. You'll get a brand new Mr. Mixoplilik. Did I pronounce that right? There we go. Always butchering it. Don't ask me to spell it. He is newly tooled. We essentially use the 5 repaints to pay for the tooling on him. He will come with the biggest piece of Calabac because he is a little smaller. He's articulated at the arms and the neck, and he's in that sitting position. That'll be followed, and then we've got Gold Superman, and finally, my personal favorite, Green Lantern as Riddler, which, for those of you you kids at home, that's originally back in 84, 85, that figure was released only in South America as part of the Super Amigos line, and yes, His package will be in Spanish with the Super Amigos logo. The way these are going to ship, they'll be on their blisters in a white shipper box like everything else on Matty Collector, and then they will each come with a piece of Calabac. The Calabac piece will be polybagged inside the white shipper so that it doesn't interfere in the blister for those who want to don't want to open your Superpowers figures and want to hang them on your wall as is, because they really are works of art like that. They're not going to have an inner blister. They're going to look like that in vintage style. They're going to have the punch-out card hole if you want to peg them. On the back, it's not done, but the back is going to have a cross-cell showing every figure that was in the Superpowers line from the DCU line, all lined up literally in the exact same pose. Packaging was going to kill me because I made them go back and like reshoot figures over and over until they got it exactly right. But they did. They did an amazing job. We'll have that to show in San Diego. But it really, and it goes all the way through like Zoom and Wonder Twins, like those figures that were, if it was even a concept figure in Superpowers, we put it on the back in the cross-cell. So, Man-Bat, Clark Kent, the whole 9 yards. So it's a really cool homage to that. And once again, not a relaunch of the brand, not a rebranding. This is just a final going away gift. Even if they sell phenomenal, well, that'll be good because hopefully we can sell them. It's not going to be something that's going to continue as much as we'd like, because 2015 is already in the planning, and I can tell you it does not have Superpowers figures. So just for the 30th, sort of one time only, 6 figures. They're going to be available in 2 sort of waves of 3. They'll all be individual, but the first 3, I believe, go on sale, I think, in August, and the second 3 in October. You can buy them individually, or you can buy all 3 to save on shipping a little bit. So that's how they're going to work. They're not going to be quarterly or anything like that. And then Doomsday, the Bound Doomsday figure for Comic-Con. You saw it there. So he'll be our San Diego figure in a bit of an oversized package. After that, you get into our Total Heroes Ultra figures. So the Total Heroes, the main lines at retail, which is where you're going to get Batman and Superman, and you may have seen Wonder Woman is out there, the first female in the retail line. On Matty Collector, you will get quarterly oversized figures. Oversized meaning they have extra piece count. So extra heads, extra arms, extra weapons, Micron with Batman Beyond. The new figure we revealed today is Firestorm. It's going to come with, let's see, both heads for both versions of Firestorm, as well as Deathstorm, or I can't recall what they're calling him now. I think they changed his name in the new 52. You have to forgive me. And also Professor will snap onto his back as a little floating head. So it's not painted, but it'll obviously be painted, as well as some blast effects and some other, he'll have some alternate hands and probably some kind of like cosmic rays, like the Green Lantern figures have. We're still working out some of that, but it will have all those, I mean, what, like 4 different heads, I think? 3 complete sets of arms, blasts, it's a lot in the package. So that'll be the last figure in the Total Heroes quarterly program. The first being Green Lantern, followed by Black Manta, Batman Beyond, and then Firestorm. After that, we get into some retail product. So for that, I have to go to my notes because I'm not on the retail team, but they were kind enough to give me quite a few talking points. All right, let's see here. All right. DC brand. All right, the classic Batman TV series. The 6-inch figures, I'll include those top characters from the show with the display base. In 2014, there'll be 1 new figure, which is Surf's Up Joker. The figure, let's see, he will have the padded board shorts and a new C-grip hand. We know the regular Joker has that pointing hand. He'll have new hands, allowing him to hold the surfboard. And the tail fin can be manually popped out from the Joker surfboard, so he can lie flat or have it on the shelf with him standing on it. So customizable that way. And also the 6-inch Batmobile will continue to ship throughout 2014. I know a lot of people still looking for that. That's still going to be, even though it was a 13 product, it's continuing at retail in the 2014 toy year. In the 4-inch multiverse world, that's going to be the highly detailed, highly articulated, authentic action figures that are rooted in contact. We have our first 2 waves on display, celebrating the video games and the classic movies. They've increased the amount of deco on Batman's belt since we showed him at New York Comic Con, so this really reflects how he looked in the movie. They're using in-mold textures to recreate the surface finishes on Penguin's hat and coat, and he comes with an umbrella accessory which was not shown at New York Comic Con, so that's new. Catwoman will be fully posable with 14 to 16 points of articulation, and she comes with a flexible whip accessory. General Zod is articulated at the bicep, so he can stand with his arms folded behind his back, just like Terrence Stamp did in the movie, and he can tell you, why do you say such things if you know I will kill you for them? Okay, he did say that in the movie. Not a laugh. All right. 6-inch Total Heroes. All new form factor premiering in 2014. So this line offers the quintessential versions of each character, your big guns. The first ever female figure of this line was premiered just now, Wonder Woman, and this is being done as a modular figure to allow other female figures to be created in the future, both either at retail, or we could use that new female buck for Matty Collector, should the Ultra figures take off and we decide we'd be able to continue this in 2015. Right now, we don't have set plans to continue the Ultra figures in 15. It's sort of a wait and see to see how well they do, how well the retail line does, but if you guys want them, we're very excited to continue the Total Heroes, both the regular retail and the Ultra online. Let's see, Wonder Woman has 14 points of articulation, and there's also a Total Heroes 3-pack on display that's got Batman and Superman in redeco, anchored by Lex Luthor and all of his evil accessories. I love how accessories can be evil. Like, people, like they wake up and like, I'm gonna be an evil gunman. All right, Justice League. So the 5-inch Justice League line that was sort of born out of the Batman line from a few years ago, that's gonna continue exclusively at Target in 2014. It's gonna be 5.25-inch figures with a character-specific accessory. The assortment includes iconic characters, Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, The Flash, Aquaman, Lex Luthor, and all new for 2014 is Hawkman. There will also be a multi-pack in 14 that's going to be anchored by an oversized Darkseid figure in that scale. And then finally, wrapping up the DC retail world is the 4-inch world. That's going to be bright and bold figures with an oversized accessory, definitely aimed at kids, but with collector appeal as well. Let's see, there are going to be 2 7-packs in 2014. The first one this spring that will feature 2 versions of Batman, Robin, Green Arrow, as well as 3 villains, Joker, Deathstroke, and an oversized Clayface. Then there'll be a new 7-pack in the fall that's premiering here at New York Toy Fair. That's going to have Batman, Azrael, Red Robin, Nightwing, Two-Face, Joker, and a mega-sized Solomon Grundy. He really does look awesome. They're going to battle for Gotham City underground through the slimy sewers, so you're going to see some slimy sewer deco on some of those figures to play out that world. All right, let's see. Anything I'm missing here? Well, as you round the corner, you're going to see your Imaginext line. I know a lot of collectors are really getting into Imaginext. Everything from the SpongeBob figures all the way through the DC. We have the Batbot out there, as well as some really great figures from Worlds of Pirates. I think there's an Evil Santa. Some really cool stuff from Imaginext. For your kids, for you guys, we all know it's a great way to share your love for these properties with your kids. I have a 4-year-old myself, and even though she's rejected a lot of my DC figures, she seems to be gravitating to the princesses, but we'll get her into the DC eventually. All right, moving on to Hot Wheels. You're going to see some of our deluxe items from Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, and Batman. There's the Batman 1966 with Batman and Robin behind the wheel. Those little slug figures are non-removable. And then as you continue around the corner, you're going to see the Marvel Marvel character cars. These are designed to be the way Hot Wheels cars, as if, I guess, how the character would be if they were a car. It's not exactly like, Iron Man isn't driving that car. It's the designers and Hot Wheels are really putting a lot of thought, like the Captain America car, for example. It's an updated vintage car. It's a classic car from the 1940s, updated with modern technology, much like Captain America. So it's very, very well thought out by our brilliant Hot Wheels designers how those characters would be represented if they sort of lived in a car universe. Very cool, very collectible. You're going to see track sets as well to support some of the major releases, including The Amazing Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy. Very excited to be partnering with Marvel on that Wheels world. Rounding it out, some great new Monster High releases. I don't have the talking points in front of me, but you'll have to check them out. I know there's some retail exclusives and some great new Fright Fest characters. And then finally wrapping it up with WWE. I also, unfortunately, don't have talking points, but I know some of our elites and 2-packs are out there. There are some retail exclusives, but this is really the sub-segment. It's aimed at you guys. It's aimed at the collectors with all the extra detail, all those paint apps on the tattoos, the soft goods shirts, the accessories, everything we want from our best loved superstars ready to take it to the mat. With that, that's basically all of the upfront about the great product you see in this room. I definitely want to open it up to your Q&A. Let's get all the information out there. Let's get it up on YouTube, and I'll just kind of go around the room. We'll take some questions, and then I'm available. We can do some one-on-ones. So, yes.
So I saw you guys are doing a lot of 30th anniversary products this year, but I saw not too many things for Ghostbusters. Are there any plans for Ghostbusters this year?
The question is there any plans for Ghostbusters 30th anniversary? And yes, New York Comic-Con, we announced the 30th anniversary Ghostbuster 2-packs. They're not here today, actually, because they're being worked on. We couldn't spare the samples. But we did show them in full at New York. It's 2 different 2-packs. One is, I believe, Peter and Winston, and the other is Egon and Ray. I might be getting that wrong, the exact configuration. But for the first time, they're going to have removable proton packs. So it's a brand new tooled torso with a removable pack. They will also come with the Ghostbuster no-go stand and proton streams. Everyone's been asking for more streams, more stands. They're going to be 2 packs, $50 each, because you're getting 2 $25 figures, and they'll be available late summer, early fall to celebrate the awesome 30th anniversary of our favorite paranormal busters. Yes? Any other questions? Did I cover everything? Yes.
I know you said you don't have talking points for Monster High, but you mentioned the retail exclusives. Do you know which of those are?
Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't. I don't have the specifics. The question was, do I know which are the retail exclusives Monster High? I'm not, you know, the person to talk to is Erin Pierce. She should be in the room. She's the one that you all contacted. She can best answer your questions about Monster High. I apologize, I can't be everywhere. Any other questions? Yes?
Are those Princes of Power characters you're showing going to have injection molded ankles like a lot of the older Masters of the Universe that got them fixed so they're tighter?
The question is, will the Princess of Power figures have the injection molded ankles? That is something the designers are looking into. You're saying without the pins, right?
Yes.
Yes. So design is looking into seeing if they can remove the pins from the female figures. That definitely won't happen till towards the end of 2014, and I can't tell you sort of which figure it's going to start with, but it is something that design is committed to doing, yes. Any other questions, comments? Everyone's always asking questions online, and here we are in person. Bring them on. Bring on the hard stuff.
Okay, for Joe Motto,
Yes.
will we ever see the meteorbs in the Masters of the Universe Classics?
The question is, will we ever see the meteorbs in the Master Universe Classics? No reason we couldn't. You know, obviously not something we have to announce today. Essentially, you know, the answer to any question of will we see X in MOTUC Classics, the answer is really, for the next 2 years, we need to maximize every single slot. Because it's all because prices are going up. It's something we have no control over. You know, toys and packaging and paint is all made of petroleum. And for anyone who's been in the gas station lately, you know how expensive gas is getting. Also, labor is going up in China. That's no secret. That's in all the papers. Because of the fact that the prices are going up faster than we can basically produce them, we wanted to commit to fans to finish the vintage POP and MOTU figures, and then the A-list characters from other media like Filmation, 2000X, mini comics. We're maximizing every slot, including our Chase figure slots, including our Comic-Con slots, including our holiday slots. We're not, you know, using those slots to sort of play around like we did in past years and do kind of like fun stuff like Spirit of Hordak that you weren't expecting. So the direct answer, are we doing the Meteorbs? You know, we don't have them to announce yet, but you know, kind of use your own judgment of that criteria for A-list characters. After 2015, should we not get to them, you know, all the cards are off the table. Once we hit 2016, should we get a 15, we'd love to, you know, maybe the line becomes, you know, MOTU obscurities. I'm making this up. I'm not promising anything, but maybe the focus is on even more obscure characters. Anything is possible, but until we get to the end of 2015, our focus is going to be on finishing those figures. If for no other reason, to finish the line before the figures cost more than fans are willing to pay, essentially. So, and it's a wishy-washy answer, but that's sort of just about our strategy over the next 2 years. So we really are going to be pushing that 2015 sub because we need that 2015 sub and the Princess of Power sub in order to finish the line. Is there going to be more add-on items for Castle Grayskull? A manhole cover, a punching bag, a torture rack, a point dread with Talon fighter, who knows? Again, so the answer to that is, I mean, it's definitely something we'd love to do. Anything we do like that is 100% tool. A manhole is 100% tool. A Talon fighter and a point dread is 100% tool. A punching bag and a torture rack and a triangular weapon rack are 100% tool. So it's something we'd still love to do, but do we use that tooling and those resources to finish the figure line, or do a furniture pack for the castle? It's a little bit of a tough one. We know there's demand for both. So we're not saying it's off the table, but it's not something we can announce right now. Sorry again for the wishy-washy answer, but you just consider the fact that anything like that, there's no redeco. Everything that we add to the castle is 100% tool. It's a lot of tool. And we need to use all our resources to try to finish those figures. Yes, Daniel.
For the superpowers figures, will Wonder Woman, for instance, come with her lasso, like the vintage figure?
The question is, will the superpowers Wonder Woman come with her lasso, and you can see it attached? It's on her.
Okay.
Yes, those figures, that's...
But it doesn't have like the old string or anything?
No. They're basically, I mean, the only tooling was Mr. I'm not going to say it, I was butchered, Mitzvah. I'll say it backwards and send him back to the fourth dimension. It's basically the 5 repaints paid for the tooling for him. Actually, here's a little inside scoop. Originally, the reason that he actually even exists as a sculpt is he and Superman were actually going to be in Club Infinite Earths originally. They were going to be like the 4th or 5th figure in the line. So he was far enough along that the sculpt was done. So that's why you're getting actually some sculpt in there. And the way we could financially do that is by offering 5 repaints, paid for that tooling we needed to tool him. It's a little bit of tooling, but you needed the it's the same thing like with the oversized Doomsday. You need all these minimal or deco only in order to pay for the tooling to offset it. So those 5 are repaints of DCU Classics figures exactly as is. Green Lantern is Riddler from Wave 3. Superman is Superman from that, I think, 5 pack was when he was, when he originally, and then he was single carded. Batman is the Batman from Wave 1, et cetera, et cetera. So, and Wonder Woman is Wonder Woman from Wave 4, just repainted in Superpowers colors. Yes?
Prop replica Power Sword?
Question?
A prop replica Power Sword?
The question is, would we make a prop replica of the Power Sword? Something we'd love to do. It's a little tough for Mattel, because a true prop replica of the Power Sword is basically going to be a giant metal blade. It's a little tough to make giant metal blades when you also make Fisher-Price toys. It's not something we're saying no to, but it just takes a little bit of an extra hurdle jump to do something like that. Our props, our epic creation items have done very well. Nothing to announce now, but again, not off the table. Any other questions? Awesome. So I'm going to wrap it up here with my blathering. I will be around for individual interviews or walkthroughs, and it's going to be a great 2014. Support the POP Club Etheria sub. It goes on sale tomorrow. Support those Superpowers figures, just to have a really great finale to 10 years worth of 4 Horsemen 6-inch DC. We couldn't be more excited. It's going to be a great 14. It's going to be a great 15. We can only make collector product when you guys are buying it and supporting it. So you guys buy it, we'll keep making it. We can't make, we can't make it if you guys aren't supporting it. Tell us what you want to see. We're going to do our best to make it, and I'll see you guys on the toy aisles and on MattyCollector.com. Thank you very much.